So there I was, spending a lazy Saturday afternoon with my friends, when I got a call from my grandma asking if I could drop by her knitting club to pick up some cookies she'd baked for me. My friends, always up for a bit of adventure, decided to tag along. We arrived at the community center expecting to see a bunch of sweet old ladies swapping stitch patterns and sipping tea, but what we found was something entirely different. Instead of the gentle hum of conversation, we heard the unmistakable sound of chairs scraping, tables being moved, and a chorus of voices shouting out what sounded like encouragement? Curiosity piqued, we followed the noise to a back room and peeked through the door. To our astonishment, the knitting club had transformed into a full-blown arm wrestling arena. The tables were lined up in a row, with pairs of grannies fiercely locked in combat, their faces etched with determination. The other members were cheering and placing bets, their knitting needles cast aside like yesterday's news. My friends and I exchanged looks of disbelief, wondering if we'd somehow stumbled onto the set of a bizarre reality TV show. But no, it was just my grandma and her pals, living out what seemed like a secret double life. Now, I've always known my grandma to be full of surprises, but I never pegged her as the arm wrestling type. One granny in particular caught my eye. Mildred, with her candy cane striped sweater and glasses perched on the end of her nose, looked like she could barely lift a teacup, let alone pin someone's arm to a table. But the other grannies were nodding in respect as she took her place at the table. Sensing an opportunity, I decided to make things interesting and bet $50 on Mildred, figuring that her frail appearance was just a clever disguise for her hidden strength. The match began, and within seconds, it was over. Mildred's opponent, a wiry little lady named Doris, slammed her hand down with the force of a knitting needle through butter. My friends burst into laughter, and I realized I'd made a grave miscalculation. As I handed over my money to a very pleased Doris, my grandma sidled up to me and said with a wink, "Guess you should have known that Mildred's strength was just a yarn she spun."